We're already at the end of the greenhouse. Well, first I want to give you a general overview. And then I'm going to show you in more detail. This is what a greenhouse that falls from the sky allows you to do, and you can be working almost outside. Well, but not in the house. It's just that I'm all dirty and there's no space. The truth is that this is divine. It truly is. It was worth the wait. It was worth getting this project started. It exceeded our expectations.
Yes, it seems like you're on your period all the time.
The carrots are growing spectacularly. They work great in this pot, but now I want to move them here. I want to move them here. This was the first big pot, as you saw in the video when we set everything up. The first big pot we got before the greenhouse. Now I'll provide more details, but first an overview of our setup. This large pot contains the tomato plants. Then we made this line of pots with species that are at hand, but at the same time we don't bump into them because they are above the big pot. Then we have in this pot already with this small little hallway in the middle organized near the window what would be the flowers. In this big pot here we have the flowers, many very showy flowers. Here there are also flowers in the hanging pots to attract pollinators. Because the idea here is to have tomatoes, eggplants, many of the plants with flowers to bear fruit. In this one we have carrots, we have some cabbages growing that will later be moved. They won't stay here because there wouldn't be enough space. At the bottom of the pot we have what are the germinators or seed beds because they don't need sun. So it keeps reproducing there until it sprouts. and then we move it to pots or wherever we designate for it to continue growing with the sweat of the sun. Over here we have some experiments. This is an eggplant that we brought in before the frost came, and here it is, but it didn't yield any fruit. There are some flowers. We don't know if it's due to a lack of pollinators or the transplant, but the others died and this one is still alive. We'll keep you posted on the progress. In this little part here, we have drawers that pull out like this. And here there is a whole production of tiny guavas. Look how beautiful they are going. To work hard and firmly on the natives. So all of this are hundreds and hundreds of native trees. We have guavas, we have cebos and lapachos. On that shelf from there we have all pots. We wanted to release this highly requested video as soon as possible to show you. But what we're really going to do is make those shelf strips there. On this one below and also on this one. Also on these lines over here. Over there we have seed beds. Here we have more seed beds, pots that have already been moved with grown plants. And in that we already have cultivation bags. I mean bags that have an appropriate size, like to grow kale, to grow cabbage. Now I'm going to show you in detail. And this is a table intended for sowing. Does it have trees, the ones I was telling you about? These are all of them native. But above all, here we carry what is lettuce for the whole house, for the whole year. Here we also have carrots, onions, everything. More needs to be produced. And I'm doing it here and we're moving it to the garden or to the little pots below. We also have a whole species of small reserve of native trees. But you know that we deeply love native trees and want to be part of this reforestation. Return to our roots, return to our native species. So this is not a garden work, but something we want to do. Live on the planet, live in this place. We don't know if we will be able to eat a little guava fruit ourselves, but surely our daughters or grandchildren will. Here there is a part of flowers, and in this part here we have more bags with soil that we have worked with compost. Suddenly some purchased germination substrate bag, also some experiments. Well, a little trash can, this organizational part that will also be useful to you. Always a trash can, a rag. Broom. And the stools, we have these foldable stools for the maid to sit down to work. Always a big place where we can prepare the soil and have a hand. This is how we've organized ourselves. So now I'm going to show you in detail what this greenhouse is, which is getting more beautiful every day. In this large pot, for example, we have cherry tomatoes since the beginning of August for the first time. Look, already with little tomatoes to eat. How delicious cherry tomatoes are. This plant, well, we have to lift it a bit, tie it with cables to the sticks above. But it is already flowering. This is a good sign. A fruit is going to come out from here, so things are going smoothly here. Celery, look at this celery. This celery started to stay. It was yellow when I brought it small. It started to stay like this. From being in this mix and in this biodiversity that exists, particularly in this bed. Look at this thyme here. I've never had such green thyme in my life, but look at this. It's impressive. I'm thrilled with my thyme. You wouldn't believe the aroma it has. This is a delight. Well, this is lettuce, butter lettuce, all from seed. Don't think there's anything here. It's the effect of this greenhouse, more than us. Obviously, we come every day to open it, to water, to check that there are no diseases. This is a purple lettuce, butter lettuce. Here we have a pear tomato that we will later transfer with bread to the garden. When the frost of August pass, I mean, it would be at the beginning of September, which will already have its sale more. This is chives. These small weeds are helpful. This one will probably stay here to give a cabbage. Here there is curry. All of this serves as a repellent to help the these, what is it? to the vegetables. And these are beets, these that are here. It's already lengthening a little beet. Look.
The growth rate of the greenhouse has impressed us. It's the first time we have,
This is an azalea that is simply here to give flowers and attract pollinators. Here's another cabbage. Red, here is more celery. And at the end there is another pear tomato. Here are marigolds. This is mint. All these are marigolds which are not in bloom right now, but they were in bloom a little while ago. In this section, the entire edge is lined with marigold flowers. As mentioned earlier, you are already familiar with these flowers. Ought to be near the window and attract pollinators, at least to be covered. And these are all tiny carrots, which is the first time we're going to have. These are going to stay here. Here I am reproducing tomatoes that are going to go to the garden, but of course here I put them here and they grow much faster than if I had them outside or somewhere else. And these are all cabbages, red cabbage, one that grows very quickly. They call it express, and the truth is, yes, it goes great here in the pots. This is a red cabbage, here is mint, this is a geranium, this is oregano, here is cilantro, and these are some petunias that will later fall and fill with flowers. This pot, I bought these bags because they are very economical and serve as a large pot. They carry a lot of soil and last more than 2 or 3 years. It depends, right? But inside here they last an eternity. Here I planted stevia and it grew at an impressive speed. I highly recommend these pots. I mean, it's a bag that becomes a pot. They come like this. I bought them on Mercado Libre. I planted one in this. 2 charts. Look at this. 1 month. I had it here for just 1 month. Look at this. This is from the top to harvest. I'm going to leave it a little longer. But you see how it grows without any problem. Look at this. I'm so fascinated. Here I have chard and here I have some cabbage. 2. The speed of its growth here is tremendous. Here I am with a pumpkin, a yellow zucchini pumpkin, which is the first year we're going to have. And look, this is about to start flowers here. And these are peas. The pea and the pumpkin is a spectacular combination in the association. You might be curious about the continued growth of this plant and when it will happen. This part is the hottest, leading to faster reproduction. Lowering the pot is a consideration. And more than anything, I have it for the pumpkin, but then I'm going to lower it and arrange tie like I have the others. Is this a kale, a cake, or a kale? This is another yellow squash. This is due to a bit of cold it has received. It's gonna get better, I'm sure. And this is a little bell pepper that I've had since winter. So it's a spicy pepper that's trying to survive, and there it goes. And down here we have our lettuce production, which we've already shown you how we manage in the video on how to have lettuce all year round. If you didn't see it, I'll leave it on a little card for you. Over there. Here, with the same pot system.
There's a kale and another squash, yellow squash. Here there is
cilantro. Squash, Carly. Here there is a cabbage. Look how it's going to go. It's impeccable. You have to give it a little more when it's cabbage, nothing more. Behold the row of pink stalks, a sight of beauty and poetry. Observe the exquisite display before you.
What a beauty, lavender.
And here, this one. This is corn. I'm also reproducing the corn here. I also have it in seeds in the seed bed, and here go the bigger ones and then the corn. That's how we carry it with the earth seedling when the August frost passed, beginning of September, and we already put it in its definitive place. But we are already going to gain a good size, and this is a bell pepper plant. We rescued it from winter. See how it goes.
There it is. It's mediocre.
But it's a transplant. It's not that it was born here. It's a transplant, but it didn't die. It's full of fruits. Let's see how it progresses. These are recent seedlings. Here I put a little list with everything that's there, and since it's very recent, the only thing that came out there I think it's the kale, but I'm not sure. Then I would have to snoop to see what it was. And here there's more. Here there's a bit more of peas. It's coming out, but these seedlings are very recent. Well, in this part, we have already transplanted small cabbages. These are ready to take to the garden. This is a Santa Rita that we want to fill with flowers. It had gotten quite bad in the winter. We brought it here and it did well. These are big cabbages, also ready to transplant. Cabbages, small cabbages, big cabbages, all to take to the garden. And here, well, about the trees that I showed you here, for example, we have peas in these big bag pots. Look how it goes. This spectacular pea, it's already going. I dropped some here. It's a giant red corn transplant. Can't wait to see the fruits. Chard is ready to harvest and examine here. It can be harvested over there.
We just need to wait briefly for it to become more like soup.
This is a white cabbage. This is broccoli, I think it is. Yes. Over here there are more pink chard, and then over here in this part there's also another cabbage or broccoli. Now I'm having doubts. Isn't this broccoli? See how well it's doing with just the light from here. Anyway, there's a lot of light here. We are producing cosmos flowers to fill the garden with flowers. This is a little tree that I always wanted to have. You can't see them now, but it gives off some rococo pink flowers that are really beautiful. But it was a bit under the weather, so well, here it is recovering, just like this Santa Rita that is also recovering. Up here, well, that's what I told you today. For planting, I have different tomatoes. In another video, I had already told you what tomatoes I had here. Here I also have another variety of tomatoes. Lettuce, onion, carrot, I've already told you that. Here in this part we are going to hang pots. We have this one which is a nasturtium. Look how nice it is going. Then it will be filled with flowers and we can take it everywhere with its flowers.
Thank you.